Uroy and CAR-T cell therapies. And here I just bring up the drug manufacturing process overview. And you can see lots of columns here, but these are actually, like I said, chest tubes, flasks in the initial stage, then keep growing them to at the end. Production culture where it says that would be around like 2,000 liter big drum in a building where you will make that drug. So here it is showing the cell culture. So immunotherapies are made in cells, so you grow the cells in a small vial and it keep growing to a bigger one. It's like yogurt culture, like if you keep growing in a bigger vessel, you will get a lot of culture. So that's the idea here. And after you have the culture produced in the bigger vessel, and you need to purify that, and those drums underneath, there's more details. You can zoom in if you can, I don't know. But then you remove the cells where they were produced in, and keep the drug itself. So you purify the drug. This is the purification process in the system. So here, everybody is needed, all different streams of scientists and people are needed in all different stages of the unit operations where purification process happens. So after purification, then we make sure the drug is pure and it is effective, it is good quality. So the process development needs to make sure the process is robust, and also we try to minimize the cost as much possible during process development stage, and then through quality control we make sure every batch comes out as promised the drug is. And the data analytics and PAT, as we call it, process analytical technologies, are very important these days. They reduce the time of testing at different stages of these drugs. So these drugs are tested in labs to make sure no impurities and their qualities are good. So process analytical technologies can help us reduce the time by giving real-time data actually. So
he wants to ask a live question, so you can let him have a live audience.
Is there a live question?
Yeah, we have a live question.
Go there.
Yes, please.
So we have a live question from our student Shivam here.
I see. Yes, please come in.
So actually, I have worked on one project where one could predict the effect of animal testing using machine learning models. So, do you think this will help reduce the drug discovery process?
Yes, that definitely reduces the time and also animal.
So can you repeat the question? People could not hear. You're very soft.
Okay. So there is this project where we try to predict the effects of animal testing using the characteristics of molecules like solubility, and that would predict whether the animal testing that would predict whether the molecule will work properly on the animals without using live animals. So my question was, would this help reduce the drug discovery process?
Yes, of course. So because if you can see in my previous slide where animal testing, preclinical, where I say clinical research and animal testing, all these are the early stage of drug discovery where this will apply. So there are a lot of in silico methods, as they call them also, like there's a lot of technology is coming up in these areas. It's, like you said, animal testing, if they can show that this is going to work definitely in animals, so that will reduce number of animals used. You can test, you can develop the model in machine learning or AI, and then test it finally in the animals. Just to want to make sure that. So that's the number of animals needed, and of course, kind-hearted people will say, yeah, that's good. So and also it will definitely help because you know the molecular structures of the drugs and how they're going to work in the system. So first comes the cells. So in cell culture, the petri dish, you test them, and then they go to animals. So that also saves time. So it is basically even like cell culture time it can save. Like when you model the drugs, so reactivity and all that stuff it can be done in silico. So that will help. Thank you for good question. Yeah. So This is great. Actually, questions coming up from like Vishal had good question. Anybody else has similar questions right now, here or online? Okay. So yeah, coming back to this, this is just to give a picture of like how the drug is manufactured in the industry and the pharmaceutical industry. Final product is when it is approved by the FDA or any other regulatory agencies. They go through all these stages of manufacturing. Most of these processes are now we are trying to get automated or at least involve AI, use data in such a way that it can inform the processes and make the processes more robust. So there's time saving, which means cost saving. Every year saved in drug uh, development or manufacturing, it saves millions of dollars because they are very expensive drugs, and it saves resource and a lot of technology is already coming up, but it's still in the beginning of stages. AI is needed, like I mentioned about PAT, I mentioned data analytics and PAT. PAT is making things so much easier now. What they would do normally is, like for example, in chromatography purification process. Here they want to test is this buffer, some of you know from chemistry, but if not, like basic chemistry, like here, what kind of buffers we need for, do we need to change the buffer composition or the volume at this stage? So there's sensors, they're built to test in the system itself. They can tell you right in the real time, like, what is happening in the drug right now. Otherwise, previously, you would have to take a sample, send it to lab, and they will test the results and send you in like 2 days sometimes. So those results will be ready in 2 days. Then you would know, oh, we needed to change this, but now it's too late. We already went to the next step. So you can be very well informed with technology as you can place it in every step. And people are thinking that where can we be more accurate? No human error. Automation can be brought there. AI can be brought in everywhere. Data analytics, of course, can be put anywhere in the system.
So very interesting. We have a special question. Maybe question will come later. Maybe he'll introduce what industry he's from so that you have an idea. He has a question. He'll ask later. So you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mohit. I'm from game development industry, and yeah, currently we know how AI is, and game development, like every other field, is one of them. I think people might have heard about vibe coding.
Can you explain a little bit?
So vibe coding is when you put in like statements to ChatGPT. You don't code; it codes things for you. So you put in like statements as in natural languages, and ChatGPT will give you a code prompt related to it.
Okay, I know some people use it.
Yeah, so it's kind of become a trend nowadays, and so it's more of like a field that is getting, I think, developing because of that. Is like prompt engineers, wherein how efficiently you're putting in the prompts in ChatGPT or an AI model, and the kind of responses that you get out from.
And do you think in the future medical technology and your knowledge and sir with biomedical, do you think everything is going to come together in one melting pot? What's your feeling?
I think definitely. So one use case that I feel that even with biotechnology that can happen. Then I think even at WA there was Professor Robert Dembski who had like an opening wherein, so how game development can work here is, so we know that in chemical labs and people they use the kind of do stuff with test tubes and all the equipments. You could probably bring in VR and we can create like an simulation environment wherein instead of having people test it in real time, you can probably do it in a VR environment, which is like safer in terms of actually handling the chemicals in real time. So we can probably have people before joining test it in VR environment and then probably bring them into the real environment, which I think could be a very good use case of game development and medical field.
Thank you so much. So we'll continue with our. Thank you for bringing our audience together once again with technology. Sir, please continue.
Yeah, so I'm almost done with my last slide. I'll open it to now questions if anybody has. But yeah, I think Mohit, right?
Yeah.
Mohit, I think what you mentioned also was what Vishal was mentioning, like early stage AI or like machine learning or AI technology can help discovery stage specifically. I think discovery stage of the drug, like this the before the first blue stripe in this picture. So that's where they are most helpful. So the only problem is like you won't know the result until few years when the drug comes to the patients. Then only you know the safety, efficacy of the final drug. Because most of the drugs, I can tell you, go through this process until phase 1 or phase 2. They fail at that point. So you already wasted like billions of dollars. So it's not so easy to say that, oh, this is definitely going to work in patient. So this is the only problem right now, challenge actually, but it can be definitely be better than the if these were discovered through hit and trial, through human errors, but machine learning and AI can make it this process, I think, more accurate.
And we totally believe so the new generation of students, they have different skills compared to when we did our colleges and studies.
Yeah.
So we totally believe interdisciplinary is very important. What's
Of
your
course,
take?
Yes. I think that's a very good point because when we work in the companies, we work with interdisciplinary teams. We want new minds to look at our data, our work, we present it to different audience just to get the feedback. And because I have seen it myself, like I've been working on this kind of project for many years, so I don't think out of the box. So I always welcome like fresh minds, and of course new technology, new ideas will come, so we will have a new look in our data. So it's always helpful, yeah, that's good.
So we'll be having a quick like 5 minute panel discussion and then we'll be finishing this live talk today. So we'll just get together here in the front and you guys can put your questions. I'll just put it on hold for a while and then we'll reconnect in 5 minutes. Put your questions, all of you.
Okay.
Thank you everybody who joined us today live and the entire live audience who have been a great support. A big clap for all of you. Yeah, we are open to any questions from the audience, sir. You can start.
I was wondering what are the plans for students? How do you plan to engage the students?
Yeah, Muskan, I think this is a student-led question and you are leading this project. So a big round of applause for Muskan once again because you tell your ideology and your mission.
So the future plan for the students is we'll send out a Google form asking all the details, and we'll start with blog writing and just see where your interest lies in which niche, whether it's data science, data handling, or the business side. We get your preference, and then we can assign work accordingly, and we'll attend, like there are plans for attending MedTech conferences as well in Boston or nearby places, and just building a networking group which can help us get more opportunities.
Do
Do you have any idea for the students?
Students, yeah, for any stream, I think it is always good to, like, for example, I'm from finance, I'm from IT, computer science background, or even MBA. Like I showed in my slides, like you can involve in any point of the process of the whole industry. So any industry actually. So in clinical areas also, you need people from all backgrounds. And in biopharmaceutical, we have a big department for analytics only, and like process development. When we do process development, thousands of people working on process development. Of course, they are using different molecules also for testing, but simultaneously they are working on like 5 drugs, but there are 1,000 people working on that. So you can involve. You maybe at some point you will get interested in. Okay, I want to learn about chemical engineering now, what they do. So you will learn from them, do some internship with them, and then you'll find your area of interest as well, where you can apply all your data analytics background there. So because they need, of course, they do process development, they need to optimize the process. They will do design of studies, design of study they will make, where they will, for example, pH change. They will change point 1 pH for buffer for 10 times, then collect all the data and analyze that. So that releases a lot of data for them. So they are very good at it. They use some softwares to do analyze that. But if you're a programmer or if you're a data analytics, you can really help them to see something that they cannot see. They're scientists, they're chemical engineers, but as a person from other stream, if you join them, that is really helpful, and also it expands your horizon. Maybe you get interested in something else, which we should be open to, right? Not restricted to our areas of interest only.
And as far as I go for students, I want to, Charankamal has been helping many physiotherapy students in India. We have young students who come and work in our clinic, they take the experience. We also have got assistants who are just year class 12 pass, they don't have a proper degree. They come and learn with us, they have started making educational videos. Whereas as we're talking about students in US, we have a lot of volunteer opportunities available right now. You could volunteer in the data analytics, you could be like tech, when we prepare a technology, we go and present it to the venture capitalists or the people who want to invest in the technology. You could help us in creating those decks. You could also be at the speaker front, you could pick up a topic and be on the speaker series. That what it helps is it brings you the confidence, because you already, for the jobs you're going to go in the future, they want to see the confidence, right? How you're interacting with the people, right? So if you have a technology, how you tell your technology to somebody else in a common term, right? So there's so many ways students can join us. We welcome all of you in Charankamal. Also, as part of my non-profit, I Like Global, which is helping street children of India, migrant children of India, where we do online classes for children from America. We have been gifted a lot of old mobile phones, which have reached children of India. So the surprising thing is there's so much of interest with the social media that anybody anywhere in the world can be part of these. So you don't have to be just in America to be part of Charankamal. You just fill the Google form, put your area of interest. Muskan, would you be able to put the Google form on LinkedIn or social media?
Yeah, of course, I can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So Muskan is trying to build a global network of people. They could be from any part of the world who can just fill in the Google form, the area of interest, and we can open the remote possibilities for them.
Of course.
Volunteering helps, because from volunteering you go into internship. So 6 months of volunteering might lead you a job as an intern. That might make you to another job. So it's like a never stopping process. So for all my students, yeah, please. Question number 2.
Yes. How much do you think AI is gonna make the process? How is that gonna impact the traditional process, do you think?
It's huge, but let Muskan, who's from this field, speak first.
Yeah, so AI will definitely make it more efficient. It can create like personalized recommendation systems for patients, and even help the physiotherapist track the patient's progress. Like moreover, it'll be super accessible. Patients can access like physiotherapy exercises at home in their comfort of their house. So yeah, and we can develop like a chatbot as well, which gives you personalized exercises or recommendations or even diagnostics. And I think we plan on developing a app for Charankamal as well, where we can connect patients and physiotherapists and integrate AI into that as well.
Yeah, very well
Yeah.
explained. Yeah. So
For the biotechnology part, yeah, like I mentioned in the early stage, definitely AI is helping. Already there are some companies, startups working on drug discovery area where they choose the well-defined targets. They come from basic research. They know that if you hit this part of the cell, this is going to happen, right? You can treat this disease. That's where AI comes in, and AI can produce, like you said, modeling. We can model a drug accordingly, this is going to work or no. It can predict much in advance. So it can use lots of historical data available and then predict the future, how it's going to look like. So definitely at discovery stage, AI is helpful, but that's not the limit, because as far as I know, all departments in all different stages of drug development and manufacturing, they are all trying to use AI as much possible in every step.
and coming from my clinical experience, AI is very important. I'll give you an example. My parents are very old, they are in their 80s, they're living all alone in India. Highly educated people are traveling or working with very little time to be there with them. Even if I have to take them to my own rehab clinic, I need somebody. But through AI model, we can create those self-learning programs where the parents can be doing rehab care sitting at home. There's so much of technology that they can, move. So AI can tell, move your limb like this, take your shoulder up. There's so many things which can be used for rehab. So that's number one. I know AI is doing a great job in blindness. A lot of children have genetic disorders, and they are being helped with the help of AI. The tools are developing a lot. So in every medical field, I think AI will be there. As we become more and more technical, as we become more and more data connected, more and more patients are going to be isolated. Because families are being very isolated. Only way you could help your parents or your children would be through help of machinery, through AI. So I see a huge future. I would want students who are not from core medical background to not feel how could we connect. If you have an idea, you just connect with the people from the medical professionals. They will guide you through. Or if you already are an innovator, because this is more like an innovation forum we are discussing, you can go with your idea to some clinician and say, I'm thinking like this, how can this be developed? So it becomes a collaborative interdisciplinary space, and we all work together to find that solution. And one more last question from the audience, and then we'll wind it up for today.
So are we focusing mainly on immunotherapy and LSC, or are we covering the broader areas?
Charankamal is a very broad angle. He's on that topic. We'll come to. So Charankamal, let me explain again, is an organization which has been registered in India. It's an Indian-based health tech group. Our plan is to expand to various parts of the globe. As we expand, we meet different students with different universities. We want to expand it. But now in US, we are working towards medical technology. As I was talking about the neonatal intestinal colitis, NEC, we are building a machine run model, how we can measure the distension in a small newborn baby, find a solution, create a technology so less babies die. So in America, we are not venturing into clinical side. In America, we are venturing into the technology side. But as far as immunotherapy, I'm sure sir will get more.
Yeah, so this was just a beginning to share my experience, what I have learned so far in this industry and research, of course. So, in the near future, there are opportunities for future talks, future discussions. We can bring up more topics like that. Based on my experience, I can share whatever I can. But this was just to invite discussion and getting everybody engaged, and so they open their minds, like to all the areas of industry, at least pharmaceutical industry. There's so many people work on those areas, so you are open to entering at any stage.
And one last comment is very good thing. A lot of people were coming here looking for jobs, but I think they already feel very empowered because now they're thinking from innovation. So if you are smart and if you can innovate, job is going to be there for you. Rather than going and chasing the job, meanwhile, while the job is not there, be innovative. If you cannot be innovative, just join a group. Volunteer, give your time. Every action you do, some result is going to be there. So with that, I would say it was a wonderful live audience participation.
Excellent participation. Thank you very much.
And thanks to all the people from across the world. In India, I know they are very late. So have a good night's sleep, and then you can always watch it live later. Thank you so much.
Thank you.